It's a mermaid's secret shell, far beneath the waves of the sapphire sea, where schools of fish darted like glittering ribbons and coral towers shimmered like palaces, lived a young mermaid named Lyra. She had long flowing hair the color of sea foam and a curious heart that longed for adventure, while the other mermaids spent their days singing songs and playing among the kelp forests. Lyra loved to explore the hidden places of the ocean, searching for secrets no one else had ever seen. One quiet morning, when the sun's rays pierced the surface and painted golden paths through the water, Lyra swam further than she ever had before. She passed the shipwreck graveyard where anchors lay forgotten and drifted through a canyon where giant sea turtles rested. Something pulled her forward as though the ocean itself was whispering for her to follow. At last she came to a hidden cave at the edge of the reef. The entrance was small and dark, but Lyra's curiosity was stronger than her fear. She squeezed inside and found a chamber glowing faintly with blue light from crystals embedded in the walls. In the center of the cave sat a shell unlike any she had ever seen. It was large, almost as big as her head, and shimmered with every color of the rainbow. When Lyra touched it, warmth pulsed through her fingers. The shell opened slowly, and a soft voice echoed in the chamber. "Greetings, Seeker. I am the shell of wishes. I can grant any desire your heart longs for, but every wish comes with a price." Lyra gasped. A magical shell. She had only heard stories about such things from old merfolk legends. "Any wish?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Any wish," the shell confirmed. "Riches, beauty, power, anything at all. But beware, the more you take, the more you may lose." Lyra thought carefully. She didn't care about riches or power. What she longed for most was to see the world beyond her ocean home, to walk on land and witness the wonders the humans spoke of in their songs. Her best friend, a dolphin named Nilo, always laughed at her dreams. "You were born to swim, Lyra. Why dream of walking?" But Lyra's heart yearned for more. She pressed her hands to the glowing shell and whispered, "I wish to walk on land." The shell glowed brighter, and the cave filled with a soft hum. "It shall be done," it said. Then the light faded. Lyra looked down and gasped. Her shimmering tail was gone, replaced by 2 human legs, pale and strange. She kicked awkwardly, struggling to balance. "You must leave the water to use them," the shell's voice reminded her. Lyra swam clumsily upward, her tail gone, her movements heavy. Nilo appeared, clicking in alarm. "Lyra, what happened? Why are you moving so strangely?" "I made a wish," Lyra said breathlessly. "I can walk now." Nilo frowned. "Walk, but that means leaving the ocean. What about me? What about us?" Lyra's heart ached, but the pull of her wish was stronger. She promised she would come back soon, then swam toward the surface. When she emerged, she dragged herself onto a sandy beach. The moment her feet touched the ground, she stumbled and laughed in amazement. She could stand, she could walk. The world above was dazzling. Trees swayed in the breeze, their leaves whispering secrets. Birds soared through the sky, singing songs she had never heard. Lyra wandered wide-eyed through the land, her heart bursting with joy. Days passed. She discovered villages where humans lived, tasted fruits that dripped with sweetness, and danced barefoot in the grass. She met children who laughed with her and showed her how to chase butterflies. Every step felt like a miracle. But each night, when she looked at the sea, her joy was shadowed by guilt. Nilo's sad eyes haunted her. She missed his laughter, his games, his company. "I'll visit him tomorrow," she told herself, but tomorrow always slipped into another tomorrow. One evening, when the stars shone bright, Lyra returned to the cave where the shell waited. "I've seen the land," she said, "but I miss my friend. Can you let me have both legs for walking and a tail for swimming?" The shell glowed softly. "It can be done, but remember each wish comes with a price." Lyra hesitated. What price? The shell's voice echoed sadly. "With every wish, you give away something you love. For your first wish, you gave away your time with Nilo. If you make another, you may lose something greater." Lyra bit her lip. She didn't want to lose anything more, but the thought of choosing between land and sea was unbearable. "Please," she whispered. The shell hummed, and light enveloped her again. When it faded, she felt both tail and legs shifting with her will. Joy surged through her. She could have everything. She swam to Nilo at once. At first, he was thrilled to see her. "You're back," he cried. They played and swam together, chasing the silver fish. But soon Nilo noticed something strange. Lyra's laughter wasn't as full as before. She often stared at the horizon, longing for the land. And when she walked on the shore with her human friends, her eyes grew distant when they spoke of the sea. She had gained everything, yet she felt torn, never truly at home in either world. One night, she returned to the shell again. "I thought having both would make me happy," she admitted. "But I feel like I'm losing myself." The shell's glow dimmed. "The price has already been taken. You are losing your joy, little mermaid. The more you wish, the more you sacrifice." Lyra's heart sank. She realized now what the shell meant. Wishes were not gifts, they were trades. She had traded time, trust, and now her own happiness. Suddenly, she remembered Nilo's words. "You were born to swim, Lyra. Why dream of walking?" But she also remembered the children's laughter on land, the warmth of the sun on her skin, and the feeling of grass beneath her feet. How could she choose? Tears filled her eyes. "What should I do?" she whispered. The shell was silent for a long time. At last it said, "True magic is not in wishes, but in the choices you make with your heart. You must decide what matters most, let go of the rest." Lyra swam out of the cave and found Nilo waiting. He looked at her sadly. "You're different now, Lyra. You chase two worlds, but you don't belong fully to either. I miss the old you, the one who laughed without worrying." Lyra hugged him tightly. "I miss that too. I think I know what I must do." She returned to the cave one final time. "Shell," she said firmly, "I wish to undo my wishes. I don't want legs or both worlds. I want my true self back." The shell pulsed brighter than ever. "This is your truest wish. But to give back what I granted, you must also give up the memories of what you gained. You will forget the land." Lyra's heart ached. Forget the warm sun, the dancing children, the butterflies. But then she thought of Nilo, of the endless blue sea, of her laughter bubbling like waves. She nodded. "Yes, I choose the sea. I choose my friend." The shell opened wide, and light flooded the cave. Lyra felt her legs vanish, her tail shimmering back into place. Warmth filled her chest, and when she blinked, she no longer remembered the smell of grass or the taste of fruit. She only remembered the sea and the joy it gave her. When she swam outside, Nilo spun around her happily. "Lyra, you're yourself again." She laughed freely, the sound echoing through the waves. "I am, and I'll never leave again." From then on, Lyra never visited the shell again. She told others about it, warning them of its price, but she never regretted her choice. She had learned that true happiness didn't come from wishing for more, but from cherishing what you already had. And so Lyra and Nilo swam side by side, exploring coral caves and chasing schools of fish. The ocean sang with their laughter, and the sapphire sea sparkled brighter than ever, for its mermaid had found her true self again. Far in the hidden cave, the shell lay silent, waiting for another seeker. But deep down, even the shell seemed a little brighter, as though it too was glad that Lyra had chosen friendship over endless wishes.